Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla, and in this video, we're gonna be going over my finances for March of 2023. Happy April and happy spring. I feel like the first quarter of the year went by super fast. It was a very busy time. March was very busy for me between all of, with work, my side hustles, travel, all that stuff. So it went even faster, honestly. It was a pretty strong month, but also a high spend month, and we will go through all my numbers in just a moment. I'm going to start by saying that I am now debt-free, or I have not paid off my debt. I do have student loan debt, and they are in forbearance and at 0% interest. So we don't actually have to pay those down until the payments resume. I don't even have to pay those down when the payments resume, but I don't have to make any payments at all until like mid 2023 as of right now. And this also depends on if the cancellation is gonna happen. We still don't know exactly what's gonna happen with all of that. But I now have reached enough money saved to completely pay off my debt, and that's amazing. This is a huge milestone for me. This is what I've been working toward. This is one of the main reasons why I started this YouTube channel, was to document my debt-free journey and to become debt-free not as quickly as possible, but obviously much faster than it would typically take if I just made minimum payments on my balances. That's the biggest update I have for y'all for March, is that I now no longer have debt to focus on. I can now focus on my future, investing, saving, all the more exciting stuff. So this month will kind of wrap everything up, and you'll see in my spending how much I had to save, and then I'll give an update on all my final numbers, including my net worth. But let me go ahead and jump to the money goals that I set for March. I did only set 2. So the first goal was to reach $36,000 saved for my student loan debt so that I would be completely done with it. I did do that. As y'all know, I did not completely hit 36K, but that's because I have all the money saved across a few high yield savings accounts, and that money is just gonna sit there. So over the next few months, I'm going to make more than enough in interest to reach that 36K. And then once I hit that 36K, I'll leave that money there until I need it. And then any extra on top of that, I'll put toward other savings, investments. I'm not sure yet. Of course, I will update y'all as that time comes, but for now, I'm like, $400, $300 something short of that. I can't remember the exact number. I'll show y'all in just a moment, but I'm very close and no longer focusing on that. So yes, goal number 1 achieved. Goal number 2 was to get rid of at least 50 things. This is part of my low spend year, and this is in collaboration with a few other YouTubers. I will have them in my description box, as well as pinned in the comments, the other people who are participating in a low spend year. But I also wanted this year to be kind of a declutter year. Get rid of things in my apartment, get rid of things in my life that are no longer serving me or that I don't need. So I wanted to do 50 things. I did not. I didn't get rid of anything this month. I just, this is an excuse, honestly, but I just didn't have time. It just felt like I couldn't prioritize that this month, and I will definitely focus on that more throughout the rest of the year, including April. But with that, let's go ahead and talk about my income first, and then I will go over my spending as well as all the exciting numbers, which is always my favorite thing to talk about. If you are interested in the spreadsheet that I am using, I will have it linked down below. You can get it for free. If you're interested in more detailed spreadsheets, like tracking your debt avalanche or debt snowball, I do have a goal tracker that I'm gonna show y'all. If you want to use that, you can purchase it in my Etsy shop. I also have a net worth tracker in my Etsy shop, so that will also be linked in my description box. I would greatly appreciate you checking it out, and I appreciate the support on that front as well over the last couple of months. But okay, let's talk about my income first. March was a little bit different because I got my bonus. I've never gotten a bonus from a job before, so this was very exciting to me. Work income ended up being $5,452.70. This was my take-home pay. I am currently a Salesforce consultant. It's been 1 year as a Salesforce consultant, and I got into this by joining the Talent Stacker program. This is something I heard on a podcast and something I became interested in because I used to have a completely different career before this. I didn't want to go back to school, all that stuff. So if you're interested in transitioning careers, interested in increasing your earning potential and gaining more experience in a highly demanded skill, then definitely check out Talent Stacker. I will have my link down below. That is talentstacker.com/Layla, and you can find out more information there. They actually offer a free 5-day challenge that you can join so you can see if you are interested in it at all and then go from there. But yeah, that is my current job and that's what I went through in order to get my job. But yes, very exciting. Got my bonus. Obviously a big chunk of it goes to taxes. Bonuses are taxed a little bit differently, but still this was super helpful and allowed me to hit my financial goals even faster. Business income, $3,975.67. This is all from the internet. This is affiliate sales, sponsorships, Google AdSense from YouTube earnings, financial coaching, Etsy, direct support. I do give a breakdown of where all of my money comes from my side hustles, as well as my extra income in a separate video. And then I also break down my business expenses. So if you're interested in that, that video will be up later this weekend, and I film one of those every single month, so I break that down further. But again, still another strong month, and this is all very, very new to me, so it's only been within the last few months that I have earned this much consistently from my side hustles, so it's very exciting to me and gives me a lot of hope for my future. I say this in every video because my goal is to become self-employed eventually. Definitely using my full-time job to help me get closer to financial independence, but also, you know, gives me some structure to focus on my side hustles and to invest into my side hustles and eventually grow that to full-time work. So this is very exciting for me. Other income was pretty high this month, $771.07. This is from credit cards, from apps that I use, and again, I'll break that down in my video later this weekend. Altogether, I was working with over $10,000 this month. Some of this does need to go to taxes and such, but still, that's a really decent amount of money to have to work with and put toward not only my needs, but also my financial goals. So very strong month income-wise. I did pull from sinking funds, $3,047. This came from two places, and I will break those two places down as I go through my actual spending. So as you can see, I had over $13,000 to actually work with in March. Okay, now let's run through my spending. The first parts are gonna be pretty quick. Let's start with my sinking funds, which is this blue section. For my taxes sinking fund, this is money that I put aside for my quarterly estimated payments. Since I did have a little bit higher than I expected, I budgeted $550, but ended up putting $650 to that sinking fund. Gift sinking fund, $75. Car/car maintenance, $100. Car insurance, I budgeted $90, but increased it to $100 because car insurance is increasing. Beauty sinking fund, budgeted $85, but lowered that to $75, so $10 difference there. I budgeted $100 to donate, and I did donate $100. That went to Barkville Dog Rescue. I can link them down below if you want to support an awesome animal rescue. Rent, trash, and pest fee, that was $15.37. Wi-Fi, $55 with Google Fiber. Electricity was $91. For water and sewage, I've been saying each month that I've been getting a bill but haven't been actually paying it, and that's because my apartment complex has been paying it, but then they did finally start charging us for it. So I had to pay for February and March in the month of March. So I budgeted $17.36, but it ended up being $35.50 because that's how much it was for February. Household, I budgeted $50, ended up spending $38.88. This was on just laundry detergent, I'm pretty sure. I bought a few packs of the sheets, laundry detergent sheets. I'm trying to stay away from the jugs, and these are a little bit more eco-friendly. I think that's all I bought in regards to household. Groceries, I budgeted $400. Luckily, I was under budget here at $303.20. The reason I was under budget was because I ended up traveling, so I didn't have to go grocery shopping for 2 weekends. We did go grocery shopping in Colombia, which is where I traveled to, but I didn't even end up paying for it, and besides, the groceries there are really cheap. However, so I budgeted $50 for food out. I should have increased this knowing that I was traveling, but I didn't do that. So I budgeted $50, but ended up spending $83.63. While I was in Colombia, I paid for a meal for myself and my boyfriend. I did purchase coffee several times, like probably like probably 5 times, but everything in Colombia is much cheaper. So even going out to eat, if you want to have like a really nice dinner for 4 people, it's gonna cost you like $30, maybe $40, depending on what you get. You can get drinks even, and it'll be still like $35. It was crazy. Even the coffee, like what I purchased there, the coffee shop I was going to was Juan Valdez, and very delicious coffee. What you would pay in America would be like $6, $7, maybe even $8 for the coffee that I was buying, but it was like half the price, like $3, which is crazy to me. Like, I'm happy to spend that money because it tasted so good. And I was on vacation. So yes, over budget here, but not as bad as it would have been if it was a different country or different travel. Gas for my car, I budgeted $50, ended up spending $22.73 because I got gas once. Health and beauty, I budgeted $150. I did go over budget, so how much over budget? Over by $75.21, and I paid for my medication. I did purchase vitamins. I had to pay a bill for blood tests from a couple months ago, and then a copay. Or was it this month? I don't know. I went to the doctor, one of my doctors, I can't even remember to be honest, and had to pay the copay, which was probably, let me see, was it $20? Yes. Yeah, so not too bad there. Student loans. So I budgeted $65. This was definitely too high because I ended up saving a little bit more in February. So going into March, I didn't need to save all of this money for my student loans. Ended up saving $5,638.91, and this is where I pulled from my sinking fund. So I took $2,500 out of my emergency fund, put that toward my student loan debt savings. Spoiler for April, I have already replenished that. I actually touched on that in my last Transfer Tuesday video, but that my emergency fund is back up to where it was basically, and that makes me very happy. So it all has worked out very well, and this was kind of my whole plan. I knew I wanted to pull from my emergency fund just so I could knock it out, my student loan debt, get that out of the way in March, and then get my emergency fund up as quickly as possible. I'll continue to add to my emergency fund throughout the year. I'll keep y'all updated. But yeah, my student loans, you're not going to see this on a line item of my budget anymore, and that's very exciting. Dogs, I budgeted $170. Ended up, this is money that goes to my sister. Ended up giving her $130, and this was because it's kind of tricky because it hasn't happened yet, but I'll be purchasing a gift for our mom, and we split the cost a little bit, so that's why I lowered it. So I didn't actually purchase that gift yet, but I will probably today actually. Business, I budgeted $1,700, ended up spending $861.41. Now, I am under budget here, and this was because I was supposed to do something in March to kind of like take my business more seriously, but I was very confused by how to do this, so I want to do a little bit more research on it, and it's probably something that I will be doing in April, so I'll probably go over on business expenses in April, but that's fine. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that in February, I talked about wanting to purchase a new office chair for my work. I work from home, and I don't have the best quality. It's a nice office chair. It's cute and it's fairly comfortable, but definitely not the best for me, my posture, my body. So I was mentioning how I wanted to purchase a new one, and y'all were like, purchase it. It's a business expense. I ended up looking and doing so much research. This is why I wanted to do a low spend year, because I hate how indecisive I am when it comes to making purchases, especially more expensive ones. I end up spending a lot of time doing research, and it just pulls me away from, working on side hustles and other stuff. It just takes a lot of time, and I don't really like that. So I stopped looking. I think I have an idea of which chair I would like to purchase. I have not purchased it. I don't know when I'll purchase it. I don't know if I want to purchase it yet. I've been looking at steel case chairs, so if y'all have any feedback on the steel case Amiya chair or the other one was the Herman Miller Sail, I think. I'm very tiny, keep that in mind. So I need something that is very adjustable so that I can sit comfortably and have proper support. And I know it's a very personal decision, like which chair you go with. And this is why I was having a hard time, because these chairs literally cost over $1,000, and I just don't know how I feel about that. I know it's a business expense, but $1,000 for a chair is a lot of money. So it's something I may save for and maybe purchase next year, or I may still purchase it this year. because it is a business expense, not personal spending, and wouldn't technically count toward my low spend year. But I just don't know that I want to drop 1K on a chair right now. If y'all have any other recommendations, let me know. But keep in mind, I'm very short, and I need some nice support. I don't want a mesh chair, by the way. Anyways, moving on. Netflix was $15.49. Gifts, I budgeted $100, ended up spending $43.12. This should have been higher, as I said, but I didn't end up purchasing the gift for my mom yet. It depends on her decision around things. It's like a service, so waiting on that. And then I also purchased some gifts in Colombia. These were very affordable, once again. Car insurance was $623.70. So this is also where I pulled from my sinking fund. So I do have a car insurance sinking fund that I contribute to every single month, and I pulled out $547 from that. I did not have enough saved, actually, which is why I increased that amount from $90 to $100. So hopefully going forward, I should have a little bit more at least, or I may need to switch insurance companies to get a better rate. But for now, this still isn't too bad. I have car insurance with Geico, and this is a 6-month premium. Taxes with my CPA, so this is me actually filing my taxes. I did budget $285 and ended up being $285, so that was perfect. And I am getting a tax refund, a pretty decent one, so that's exciting. Parking, I budgeted $10, ended up being $6. This was for a doctor visit. And then a couple of things that I did not budget for. So the first thing was Andretti's. I knew I was gonna do this, so I had planned this like a month and a half ago before we actually went. So I planned this with my boyfriend and another couple, so I knew that this was coming, but I wasn't exactly sure if it was for sure and all that. So I should have budgeted for this, but didn't. That ended up being $96.71. I paid for myself and my boyfriend to do various things. Andretti's is like a arcade place, so you can ride go-karts. There's like a 7D experience game thing, gameplay, all that sort of stuff. It's quite pricey. It's very expensive, and I feel like they bumped their prices up. I don't know how families go there. It's crazy to me, but it was very fun, and we don't spend very often on fun things. If we do, it's typically more affordable, so to me it's not a problem, and it's a experience, a memory, so worked out. Next thing that so I did spend personal. I did end up purchasing something in Colombia for myself, and I was thinking about y'all as I made this purchase, like I shouldn't do this because it's my low spend year and I'm not supposed to spend anything on personal, but I wanted it, and it was affordable because again, Colombia's very cheap for everything there. For Americans, it's very cheap. So I spent $12.97 on this little wallet thing. And yeah, I mean, going into my low spend year, I knew that I would spend a little bit. I think I budgeted $150 for personal. So I'm not gonna stress about this whatsoever. I don't feel guilty about it. It was, less than $13. I did budget for a little bit of wiggle room there. So yeah, you could call this a fail if you wanted to, but definitely not something I'm gonna stress about. And I did want to purchase something from Colombia as kind of a memory. This was more of a meaningful trip, I guess, because my boyfriend, that's where he was born. So I was like visiting with family and going to, towns that he was familiar with, and plus like purchasing from people there, it supports them. Yeah, so it felt more meaningful for me making purchases there. Typically when I travel, I don't buy gifts for my family because it's kind of just like, knickknacks or things that people don't need, but I did do that on this trip because it felt more personal. And then same thing with making a purchase for myself. Just got something for myself. But yeah, that is it in regards to my spending for March. And if we add everything up, my spending is $11,205.50. Obviously a big chunk of this was for my student loan debt savings. So if we exclude my debt and savings, I spent less than $5,000. So still a high spend month, but that's okay. I've still finished off pretty strong. I did have a lot of money roll over into April, which is how I was quickly able to get my emergency fund back to where it is. And yeah, overall, I would say March was very strong. And I did do the personal spending, but it's nothing that's gonna ruin my finances, you know? Still on track, and I'm about to show y'all my, all my numbers for savings, investments, and my net worth, which is very exciting. So let's go to that. All right, for the whole summary of my finances, I am going to share my whole screen because it works out better that way. But first we're gonna go over everything that I have in my savings. This was from the final day of the month after the interest accrued in my high yield savings accounts. If you're interested in the high yield savings accounts that I use, they are linked down below. But I will say that the bulk of these are in Marcus by Goldman Sachs. That's my favorite one. Taxes, again, this is for quarterly estimated payments. I put savings here so that I can make tax payments every quarter on my side hustle income earnings. That ended up at $1,860.44. My emergency fund, I pulled, $2,500 from it, didn't put anything back into it in March, so that ended up at $3,664.83. Gifts, that's at $326.41. So I forgot to mention this, but I did, purchase gifts as I just went through with my spending, but I didn't pull from my sinking funds. I figured I had enough to cash flow that. I didn't end up pulling anything from this. And I won't be doing that for March. So that definitely increased. Travel, didn't put anything to this. That was at $4.15. Car/car maintenance reached a new high, $2,058.28. I don't think I've ever had that much saved in this sinking fund, so that's exciting. Car insurance, $100.67 there. Beauty sinking fund is at $1,289.79. Sabbatical sinking fund, again, I will talk about this, but I didn't add anything yet, $14.41. House down payment, I didn't add anything. Eventually I will. 74 cents, that's just the interest accruing. Furniture/home, 40 cents still. And then the biggest one, my student loan debt savings, ended up at $35,595.33. So almost at that 36K mark, but this was after the interest came through. So it's very, very exciting to be done with this, as I keep saying. Altogether, I have $44,915.45 in cash, which is absolutely insane. Next, let's talk about my investments. So my Roth IRA, I didn't contribute anything to it, but it did go up a little bit. Up 2.4% at $14,530.62. My 401k did go up quite a bit, so the market was up, but I also contributed more to it because I got my bonus and then my company matched that, plus my typical contributions. So that was up 14.7% at $8,493.47. This account to me is so exciting because it grows really, really, really quickly. And obviously that's a pretty decent jump in growth. Next is M1 Invest. I didn't add anything to this, just some, natural dividends. This is my brokerage account, all invested in VTI. That went up 2.2% to $5,991.41. And then finally, Coinbase, same thing here. I didn't touch this. The bulk of this is Bitcoin, referrals in here, stuff that I had invested a couple of years ago. I just don't touch it. We'll see what happens with it, but it's not a stressor to me. That ended up going up a lot because it's such a small amount in there. It's up 21.8% at $399.40. And then altogether, I have $29,414.90 invested, so up 5.9%, up almost 6%, which is very exciting and obviously the highest amount that I've ever had invested, and that's the goal. And altogether, over $74,000 in assets, plus we're gonna scroll down to my net worth because I also include my checking account, how much I have in my checking account on the final month, which was a lot higher because of the bonus, and I didn't end up using that bonus until April. I also, in my net worth, I do not include my taxes sinking fund, and I also don't include the value of my car or any of my belongings. That's just personal preference. I have a video actually that I posted recently on how to create your own net worth tracker, and I have one for sale on my Etsy shop, but I talk about that a little bit more in that and why I don't do that. But altogether, I have $76,569.91 of assets. Crazy. My liabilities, I still have my $36,000 of student loan debt, so if we subtract that from my assets, I'm at $40,569.91. That's my net worth. 40K, over 40K. My goal, I think for the whole year, well, my goal for the year is 100K net worth, but I was looking back on, past goals that I set, and I think I wanted to be at 50K by the end of this year. So I'm definitely going to hit that. It does depend on the stock market pretty heavily, but I'm going to be investing quite a bit over the next few months and saving quite a bit. So this is so exciting. And then naturally, my money is working for me through the high yield savings account, through dividends, capital gains, all that stuff. So very exciting numbers here. And then you can see the chart here so far for 2023. We have the wrong title here. Y'all didn't tell me for 2 months this is the wrong title. I'm surprised I didn't notice, but okay. So for 2023, that's what it's looking like. So this chart here shows my progress of my net worth from January 2021 all the way through now. I love this chart. It's so exciting. And I say this in every single video of when I talk about this, but be sure to start tracking your net worth ASAP. Start today, start this month, because you will want this data when you start progressing with your finances, because I wish I had older data. But this is really exciting to see it going up in the direction that we want it to, and obviously a pretty big jump for this month. Okay, I know this video is getting long, I apologize, but the last thing that I want to show y'all is my goal tracker. I do have this for sale on my Etsy shop. This is what I was talking about. It does work best for goals that are increasing, so savings goals, investing goals, stuff like that, rather than paying down debt, but it does still work for that. You do have to just adjust things a little bit. I'll be sure to update the documentation around this. But yeah, let's go ahead and go through these. So my first goal is to be debt-free, and I wanted to do that in March, and I did. I'm not paying down the debt, but I have enough saved to be completely debt-free. So in March, this increased by $5,766.66. You can see I'm almost at 100%, and just $404.67 remaining, and I do expect to reach the full 36K over the next few months because of interest as well as a high yield savings bonus. Next is my 2023 Roth IRA. I did not contribute in March, so this is still at 0%. Then we have my emergency fund, so I did pull from that. I pulled out $2,500, but then it did increase a little bit because of the interest, so it ended up being a negative amount, $2,481.38, and brought me down to that $3,664 amount. But like I said, that has been replenished, so we'll talk about that soon. 100K net worth. The increase was almost $7,000 for March. As I said, my net worth was over $40,000, so about 40% of the way to 100K. I think I will hit this in 2023, and yeah, that blows my mind, because I feel like, just a year ago, even comparing the difference is pretty significant. 100K or more in gross income. This number is pretty crazy for March, so I did, of course, include my extra income, my side hustle income, gross earnings, as well as my gross earnings from my full-time job and regular pay, and bonus. So March was very strong at $12,521.74. So I'm 30.8% of the way to a 100K income or higher this year. I've never made over 100K in the year, so this will be very new to me, and I think it'll be pretty achievable, but we'll see how things go throughout the rest of the year. Quarter one was very strong. I also set a goal to make at least 30K from my business, so from this YouTube channel and everything else that comes with this. Strong month there, $4,061.53. Looking back now, I just realized I told y'all the wrong number. So this is the correct amount. This is the 4,000 amount is the correct amount. I'll break that down in my video this weekend. But okay, so yes, $4,061.53. I apologize, I said that wrong before. 36% of the way to this goal. I think I will hit that this year. And again, this is very, very new to me. Last year I made, I think, like 23K from my business income. So this will be a record for me. And then the final goal is to spend less than $50,000 all throughout the whole year. And this is on anything outside of my debt, outside of my savings, investments. This is just actual spending. Still on track for this. So for March, I spent $4,566.59. So this was a little bit higher than the last couple of months, but still should be on track, 22% of the way there. And we want this to be lower. The lower, the better. So that's a wrap up on March, wrap up on Q1. I will be doing a whole Q1 review as I always do. So stay tuned for that video probably next week. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Please feel free to comment down below any of the goals that you hit, any financial goals you hit in March. I would love to see them. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.